Okay, another kind of transformation that we can do is called a reflection. So when you're doing a reflection, you want to think about sort of flipping the graph over or folding it over onto itself. So when you do a reflection and the negative is outside the function, so like this one where it's outside the parentheses, remember things on the outside affect the y values. So you're going to take all the y values that were positive numbers and make them negative. All the y values that were negative numbers and make them positive. So what you're doing then is taking something that was above the x-axis and moving it below the x-axis. So this reflects over the x-axis. And when you think about it, it changes the y values. So if a y value was positive, it becomes negative. If it was negative, it becomes positive. When it's inside, it changes the x values. Remember, when it's inside the parentheses, it's changing the x values. So all of these positive x values are going to become negative. So there you're reflecting over the y-axis. Okay, let's do an example. Here's a graph. It says, what would the graph of f of negative x look like? So because that's inside the parentheses, it changes all of the x values. So it reflects over the y-axis. So right now the graph starts at 0, 0 and goes towards the right-hand side. What's going to happen is this point here that it was at 1, 1 is going to move over there to negative 1, 1. So the x value gets changed. Notice the y value did not change at all. This point here that's at x equals 5, y equals 2-ish. Oops. Is going to go to negative 5, 2. So negative 5, 2. So the graph is going to have that same exact shape. It's just now pointing towards the left instead of pointing towards the right. Okay, this one says create a table for negative f of x when it's on the outside and f of negative x when it's on the inside. So let's make two tables here. We have these same, the x values. Oh no, let's not write down the x's yet. X and negative f of x, and then x and f of negative x. Okay, so when I put the negative on the outside, it changes the y values. The y values change. It reflects over the x-axis. So the x values remain exactly the same, negative 2, 0, 2, and 4. But the y values all change sign. So if they were positive, they become negative. If there were any negatives in there, we would have turned them into positive. Okay, when I put it on the inside like this, we change the x values. We reflect over the y-axis. So all of the x's change sign. So the negative x's become positive and the positive x's become negative. But the y values don't change at all. And remember, f of x is like the y values, right? The outputs of my function.